Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you are all good at home. Students, today I will explain chapter 3, that is plains and deserts. So, first I want to explain something about plains. What is plain? A plain is large area of flat land with few trees. Big cities and towns are found in the plains. Got it, everyone? Plains, a large area of flat land with few trees. Big cities and towns are found in the plains. Desert. Desert is a dry area with very little rainfall and no vegetation. They may be hot or cold. So, student, now we will start the chapter. Warm up. Is there a river flowing through or near the city where you stay? Any river is here? Have you been to a place where there is a river? So, student, tell the class about it. Write the answer in this box. Okay. Now, I am here. Page number 21. The plains of northern India lay to the south of Himalayas. It is bounded by the Himalayas in the north and the Deccan Plateau in the south. The plains of northern India. When we study about the northern India, the plains of northern India lay to the south of Himalayas. It is a boundary of the south. It is Himalayas. It is bounded by the Himalayas in the north and the Deccan Plateau in the south. Which one? Northern plains bounded by the Himalayas in the north and the Deccan Plateau in the south. Here is the Deccan Plateau. Here. The Great Indian Desert is a large dry region in the north-western part of the country. Okay. So, student, in this paragraph, we study about the northern plains. It is bounded by the Himalayas in the north and the Deccan Plateau in the south. And the Great Indian Desert, it is a large dry region in the northwestern part of the country. So, we'll discuss about in detail here. Northern plains. Northern plains cover a major portion of the northern India. It is level and flat region that is start from Punjab in the west and goes on till Assam in the east. So, student, what is the use of this map here? We found the first Himalaya here. This is blue portion, show the Himalaya. After that, we study about the region Punjab. Here is a Punjab. Okay, in the west and goes on till Assam in the east. Here is Assam. Most rivers that start in the Himalayas flow across the northern plains. Most of the rivers like Ganga, Yamuna and tributaries. Which one? Gandaki, Ghagra and so many. These rivers have water throughout the year because they made by the glacier. That's why. They also carry broken pieces of rock, silt and sand. Student, one word is here. What what it mean? It mean silt is made up of rock and minerals particles that are larger than clay. This silt. Okay, sand you very well know. The rivers normally deposit the fine silt along the river bank. This silt is also called the alluvium. This type of soil called the alluvium. Rivers normally deposit the fine silt along the river bank. This silt is called the alluvium. Student, this soil is very fertile. Any soil that has alluvium is called alluvial soil. Such soil is highly suitable for growing crops. Northern plains are thus extremely fertile and provide the best cultivable land of India. Northern plains. Okay, let's find out details about the different river basin. Student, in this paragraph, we have to study about the northern plains. So, it is level and flat region. Which one? Northern plains that start from Punjab in the west and goes on till Assam in the east. And main important thing is here, most river that start in the Himalayas flow across the northern plains. For example, Ganga river, Yamuna river. Okay, then move on. This Satluj basin. The source of river Satluj is in Tibet close to the Kailash Mansarovar lake. Where it is? The source of river Satluj is in Tibet. here, close to the Kailash Mansarovar lake. It flows and enter Punjab through Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh is here and enter in Punjab. From Punjab it goes into Pakistan. Then after goes in Pakistan. Pakistan is here. And merge with river Indus. Where it may merge in Indus? Here in Punjab and Pakistan. It finally ends in the Arabian Sea, and finally it exists in the Arabian Sea. Haryana and Punjab are located on Satluj Basin. Where it is located? It is located Haryana and Punjab in Satluj Basin. Okay. And what is the capital of Haryana and Punjab? Chandigarh. Okay, student. Bhakra Dam has been erected. Erected means build up. Okay. So, I hope you all understand this. Move on next page. Yes. This is the page number 22. On this page, we study about the Bhakra Dam. So, Bhakra Dam has been erected on this river in order to provide irrigation and electricity facilities to areas located nearby. On this page, we study about the Ganga and Brahmaputra. So, Ganga Basin, river Ganga merges from the Gangotri glacier, which is located in the upper Himalayas. Upper Himalayas is, this is the portion of the upper Himalayas. Here is Gangotri glacier, which is located in the upper Himalayas. There it is referred to as Bhagirathi. Okay, here it referred to the Bhagirathi. River Yamuna is the main tributary of the Ganga. So, student, here it is a word tributary. It means helping rivers. So, river Yamuna is the main tributary of the Ganga and is also an important river of northern India. So, two important rivers in India, Ganga and Yamuna. It joined the Ganga in Allahabad, where Yamuna joined the Ganga in Allahabad. Okay. In the early phase of its downward flow, Ganga entered Haridwar. In the early phase, starting it joined when it will come down the glacier, Yamunotri glacier, it joined here. Ganga entered Haridwar. First, it entered the Haridwar. When in the early phase of downward flow, Ganga entered Haridwar. There it is joined by the Ghagra, Gomti, Gandak and Kosi. I am here, students. Okay. It then flow into Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Which river? Ganga river. Okay. And important thing, remember student, in the earlier phase of Ganga, its downward flow Ganga enter Haridwar. And then there it is joined by the Ghagra, Gomti, Gandak and Kosi. Okay. Continue. It get divided into Hooghly and Padma. Where? In West Bengal. In West Bengal, Ganga divide into Hooghly and Padma join Brahmaputra after flowing through Bangladesh. It join the Brahmaputra. When Padma joined Brahmaputra after flowing through Bangladesh. Hooghly flows through Kolkata and empties out into Bay of Bengal. After that, they merge in the Bay of Bengal. In the south, Ganga is joined by Chambal, Betwa and Son rivers. River Ganga is considered to be holy and sacred by the Hindus. It means Ganga river is our blessed and godly river. Brahmaputra Basin. This is River Brahmaputra originates in Tibet, where it is known by the name of Shangpo. T silent is here. And Arunachal, first the river enter India through Arunachal Pradesh. It then enter Assam and flows across the state before entering Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, it's known Brahmaputra river is known as Shangpo. Okay, when it get close to the sea, it start to break up into smaller branches that are known as a distributaries, because it's divided into so many parts. That's why we call it the distributaries, because tributary means the helping river and distributaries means the so many rivers are divided into one part. Okay, so Brahmaputra river divided into distributaries. The same thing happened with Ganga as well. These branches together create a delta which is marshy area and is triangular in shape. Ganga and Brahmaputra form the Sundarban delta, which is the biggest of its kind in the world. So students, the same thing happened with Ganga as well. The Brahmaputra divide into smaller branches that are known as a distributaries. Okay, and these branches together create a delta, which is the marshy area and is triangular in shape. And Ganga and Brahmaputra form the Sundarban delta, which is the biggest of its kind in the world. So students, I hope you all understand the Ganga and Brahmaputra river. They have so many tributaries and distributaries and make the delta Sundarban delta, and it is the biggest of its kind of the world. Thank you so much for listening, me student.